Hello traders, welcome to another episode of Trader Chat. Trader Chat is a segment of my YouTube video where I come to analyze the market and also show you guys how my analysis work and how I use my analysis to extract consistent profit from the market. In today's video, I have a couple of trades lined up that probably we should be able to take advantage of them the coming week. If you are ready to make some money next week, type profit at the comment section. Without wasting much time, let us look at what is cooking up next week. Let's go. So guys, welcome once again into my screen. In front of you here is a chart on Euro USD. I analyzed this chart last week and I said, looking at Euro USD is on a downtrend. And you all know characteristics of a downtrend. Price keeps making higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. Now, something happened here. Price made a high, dropped, made another high, dropped, and made. This is a triple top. So we are expecting price to keep dropping all the way down to this zone. But looking at this price or chart right now, you can see that price got to this zone. This is a major support zone. Why do we call this a major support zone? Because there has been a reaction at this zone multiple times. There have been a reaction. So there's nothing much to look at. There's nothing much to look on Euro USD on the monthly time frame. Let's head over to the weekly time frame. And on the weekly time frame, as I said on the previous video, is where I come to draw my support and resistance. And from what we can see, price has been in this range since 2022. Price has been in this range since 2022 December, ending of 2022. Price has been in this range, and currently now price traded into this particular support zone down here. Though price broke that zone, but price closed with a bullish engulfing candle inside this zone. Yes, we know that Euro USD wants to head probably all the way down to this zone. But how are we going to trade Euro USD all the way to this zone? It is when we see a clear breakout of this zone. Until we see a clear breakout of this zone, we can be able to take Euro USD for a sell all the way down here. But since price came into this zone and put up a bullish engulfing candle close inside this zone, and last week candle closed with a doji. Last week, this candle right here is what I call a doji. If you look at it right well, you can see it has a very small body, and that is an indication of a doji, meaning that price doesn't just want to break past this zone. Probably price wants to react. There's a reaction going on inside this zone, and I think price might want to retrace. Price might, in quote, want to retrace probably into this zone right here. Price might want to retrace into this zone right here before we start seeing further drops to the downside, or it might want to head up. We don't know, but that is not our major problem for now. Our major problem is, how are we going to see trading opportunities the coming week? Are there any trading opportunities right here the coming week? If price wants to head to this zone, let's go down to the lower time frame to look for trading opportunities, trade entries inside of this particular chart to be able to push price all the way to this zone, or to see if price wants to keep heading downward. Now we will go over to the daily time frame. We have seen that the weekly time frame closed with a doji. And on the daily time frame, we have seen price has reacted on this support zone, forming a head and shoulder pattern. forming a head and shoulder pattern. This was as a reaction of the news that came out last week Friday, and price closed with an inverted hammer. So we don't know if price wants to keep heading higher or price wants to continue heading lower. Now let us look at the 4 hour time frame, and on the 4 hour time frame we want to take this trade for a buy. If it falls in confluence, let's say since the weekly candle closed with a doji, we want to see some reaction on this particular zone to be able to anticipate that price wants to continue heading higher, or price wants to break this particular zone right here. And now on the 4 hour time frame, so sorry for the break in transmission. As I was saying earlier, I predicted this market last week. So the market played exactly the way we predicted. What did we predict? We were anticipating that price should come back into this zone at least for a retracement to the 50 or 61% retracement before going up, and exactly price did as we wanted before heading all the way up. Currently I have some position open on Euro USD. I entered this trade somewhere around here at the close this particular candle. Immediately I saw that this retracement, I entered this market somewhere about here. My first profit target were all the way here, and I have closed out 50% of my position. Remember, this is a holiday period, and during this period price will tend to keep consolidating for a very long time. So for every opportunity you get, close out some position. Ideally I'm expecting price to come all the way to this zone right here or this zone right here, but as it stands now I've closed out 50% of my position down here. I'll be waiting to close out 30 here and the remaining 20 position all the way here. And aside that, if we should draw, let me shrink this a bit guys. If we should draw our trend line, okay, like so, touches here, good. If we should draw our trend line like so, I'll be expecting the market to retest this zone before pushing all the way upward. If the market should open on Monday, I'll be expecting price to play around this zone. I repeat, I have some positions open on this particular trade. I have closed out 50% of my position. I have closed out 50% of my position right here, and I have moved my stop loss to break even. My stop loss are somewhere about here. My stop loss are somewhere about here. If this market should come down and hit me out, no problem. I'll be okay. But ideally, I'm expecting this market to rally all the way down here before giving us a push to the upside. But if this market doesn't play out like that, if this market doesn't come into this zone to give us a push to the upside, if it doesn't happen, or this market wants to keep dropping, if this market wants to drop all the way down, I'll be expecting this market to drop all the way down, retest this particular zone before I can enter for a sell. I will come and reanalyze this trade for a sell. But currently, I am 70% buy on this particular trade. Ideally, I'll be expecting price to come down into this zone, give us a proper entry. For those that miss this trade all the way down here, you still have the opportunity to enter this trade here. Wait for price to come back into this zone, giving us a proper entry for a push to the upside. And if that happens, you should be expected to close. You should be expected, let's draw this our fib. You should be expected to close 50% or a part of your trade at this yellow bar here. You should be expected to close at this yellow bar once price gets to this trend line, because price might easily retest this trend line and start dropping all the way down. with forex anything can happen. So ideally you should be expected to close out some positions here, move stop loss to break even, and see and allow the trade play out. So that will be that for Euro USD. You all see how I analyze this trade. I said I will be expecting price to come down here before giving us another push to the upside. But if price decide to close below this zone, I'll be expecting price to retest this zone. Then I'll come and do another analysis to take on a sell trade. So as I said, I still have positions open on this particular trade. I have taken out partial profit, and my stop loss is at break even. In case anything wants to happen, I will be safe with this trade. The next trade I would like us to look at is GBP USD. GBP USD. Let's go down to Let's start with the weekly time frame, because there is not much to analyze on the monthly time frame. Even if we should look at the monthly time frame, there is not much to analyze on the monthly time frame. We already know that this particular chart is still on a downtrend, though on lower time frame this looks like an uptrend. Yeah, all we just want is to extract 200, 300 pips from this particular market. Let us go down to the weekly time frame to see what is happening. And on the weekly time frame, you can see that this price was heading up, giving us higher highs and higher lows. From this zone, price was on an uptrend. On getting to this zone, price has broken this particular zone. Ideally, I was expecting price to come down to this zone, but that didn't happen. Price came here and gave us a bullish engulfing candle at this zone right here. Price came to give us a bullish engulfing candle at this zone. I'll be expecting price to come into this zone. I'll be expecting price to come into 1.30000. Why? Because GBP USD love respecting psychological level, and this is a psychological level. I'll be expecting price to come into this zone. And if we should look, our last week candle closed bullish. Yeah, this is a bullish candle right here. Last week closed bullish. Now looking at the daily time frame, what do we have? Looking at the daily time frame, let me delete this. On the daily time frame, this was as a result of Friday candle close. You can see that the market closed with an inverted hammer. So we don't know if price wants to keep heading downward or price wants to continue. Probably there might be a retest at this zone that you are seeing down here all the way up. There might be a retest at this zone down here all the way up. And if we should draw our trend line, you can see that price has broken that trend line. Let us go down to the 4-hour time frame to see what is actually happening there. Let's see if we drew this trend line properly here. Touch here, good. Voila. So if you watch my previous analysis on GBP USD, I analyzed that when the market was at this zone, I said this market will need to come down to give us a proper head and shoulder pattern, and it should come in play with the 50 or 61% retracement zone, and exactly that was what price did. Price came into this golden ratio in between the 50 and the 0.618 retracement zone before heading upward. Now, what are there any trading opportunities on this particular chart the coming week? If you didn't take this trade last week, ideally I will be sincere with you, I did not take this particular trade because last week I analyzed 3 trades: Euro, GBP and AUD, but I was opportune to take euro and one other trade. Yeah, though I did not analyze that particular trade, which I'll be showing you why I took that trade. I took a trade on euro and one other particular trade. But why I did not take a trade on GBP USD was because by the time I found an entry, it was my stop loss should be at below this zone right here. And for me putting my stop loss at this zone, it was about 80 to 90 pips if I'm correct. Yeah, this was about 90 something pips below this particular zone. And normally I like taking trades with at least 50 pip stop loss. The minimum I can go below is 50 pip stop loss. The I prefer 30 to 40 pips. The least I can go below is a 50 pip stop loss. So me taking a trade with a 90 something pip stop loss, guys, I was out of it. So for those who did not take this trade, or for those who did not watch my previous analysis on this particular trade, you still have an opportunity to take this trade. Ideally, I would say let's draw this trend line like so. Let's draw this trend line like so. This is a neckline. This is a neckline of this inverse head and shoulder pattern. Why do I say this is a neckline? You can see a reaction here, here, and also here. Price break above it, still closed below. So that is why I see it as a neckline. And you can also see reaction at these zones here. Even when price closed it, you can see a retest here before going up. Now price has broken this trend line, and they say ideally I'll be expecting price to come back into this zone. If at all price wants to head higher, I'll be expecting price to come back into this zone. Why do I say I'll be expecting price to come back into this zone? Number one, I want price because GBP USD love respecting the fib and the fib zone, and Fibonacci is one of the tools I like when doing my analysis. I'll be expecting price to come into this 0.618 retracement zone. That is one. In confluence with our trend line, two. And to retest this neckline, that is three. Until I see that on GBP USD, I will be glad to start looking for trading opportunities inside this zone for another push to the downside. Guys, imagine you taking a trade inside this zone for another push to the upside. We should be banking at least another we should be banking at least another 2 to 300 pips. At least we should be banking 2 to 300 pips while keeping our risks low. So guys, but in case that doesn't play out, in case market wants to break past this trend line and this zone, in case, because for every time you analyze a market, you should have a probability. Forex trading is all about probabilities. In case price wants to break below this zone for a sell, I will reanalyze this trade. I'll be waiting for a proper clear at this zone. One, clear at this particular zone, then I want to see a retest. Before going in for a sell all the way down to this support zone right here. But ideally, I am 70% buy on this trade. But anything can happen. You might not be 100% right. So that day you always have to have that probability. You always need to put that probability of if price doesn't go the way you want. We are here to react. So if price doesn't come back to this zone to retest our neckline, this trend line and our 0.618 retracement to the upside, and decides to break this zone, I'll be waiting for price to clear this particular bar right here, drop, come back for a retest, then I'll be going in for a sell. So guys, as I said earlier, I analyzed 3 trades last week, but I did not enter for GBP and AUD. Let me show you guys the another chart that I saw interesting, that I jumped into, and it was this particular pair. It was this particular pair, USD CHF. USD CHF. Why did I go in for USD CHF? Let us begin at the weekly time frame. USD CHF got to this zone and gave us this particular drop right here, this bearish engulfing candle. So immediately e gave us this bearish engulfing candle, I knew that something was wrong. I knew that though it is not reversing to the downside, I see it as a retracement. There's a difference between price is reversing and price is making a retracement. So I see it as a retracement. So I just had to go down to lower time frame to look for entries inside this zone to be able to push price downward. Then coming on to the daily time frame, into the daily time frame, I saw all this push to the downside. I saw all this push to the downside, and I said to myself, I'll wait for price to come back into this zone to form a proper head and shoulder pattern for me to be able to take this trade all the way down. And that was exactly what happened. And I came on the 4-hour time frame to look for entries. Immediately I saw this Immediately I saw this drop, I entered this market at this particular candle here. I entered this market at this particular candle here, and this is what happened. Though ideally I was supposed to close out some positions here, but I closed out some positions. My first profit target was at 0.8720. This was my first profit target. Price came shy of it as the NFP release that happened on Friday. Price came shy of it, and I saw the retracement and I had to close out. Though my overall entries are at this bar right here, I still have positions open. Though I have closed 50% of this trade here. Same with the euro. I've closed out some positions. Now I've moved my stop loss at this particular bar right here down to this zone. You can see this green line. This is where my stop loss are. So if this price decides to keep going all the way up, no problem, it should hit me out. I'll be interested in taking a buy on this trade if I see price clearing this particular zone. But as long as price is still here and something happened, you can see that price has broken this trend line. You can see this was the first touch, second touch, exactly what happened on GBP, and price came down here, broke this trend line all the way to this zone, and now it is retesting this particular trend line. So ideally I want to see price playing into this zone, or it should come and give us, it should retrace into, might want to retrace into the 0.618 retracement zone inside this golden ratio in confluence with the neckline. Guys, if you look at this chart very well, let me delete this. If you look at this chart very well, you will notice that this is a neckline. So ideally I will expect price, ideally for those, I'm sharing this analysis for those that will find it interesting in taking this trade. You can jump into this price when you see a proper, there will be a retracement probably into the 0.618 zone. Then once you see a close, or price might even decide to retest this neckline, this particular neckline. Price might decide to retest it. So you should take advantage of this trade once you see a close below this trend line. If price is inside this trend line, hold on. Once you see a close below this trend line, you should be looking for selling opportunities. But I'm already in this trade. I'll be expecting price to do whatever it wants to do here and keep heading down, and I'll close out my position here. So guys, this is how I use as low as 34 pips to catch a 238 pip. This is a 1 to 6 risk to reward. As you can see here, this is a 1 to 6.87 risk to reward. I'm risking 1 to make 8. Currently, price has even given me already, this is a 1 for me. This zone to this zone is a 1 to 3, and I'll be expecting another drop all the way down here to be able to close out on this trade. And as I always say, I love sharing my analysis with you guys here, but that doesn't mean if I should come on here to share 3, 4, 5 trades, you should also take all the trades. No, look for 1 or 2. Look for 1. If you feel satisfied with my analysis, look for 1 or 2 of the trades and take advantage of them. You must not necessarily take all of them. So guys, that will be my analysis for the week. Let us watch out and see how things unfold the coming week. If you really stay till the very end of this lengthy video, that means you are passionate about Forex trading. You are passionate about making money or extracting money from the Forex market. 2025 is around the corner. If truly you want to be good at trading the Forex market, if truly you want to keep extracting profit, when I mean profit, I mean consistent profit from this market, it will be of great help to you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, turn on post notification bell so that you get notified whenever I share content like this, because I won't be only sharing analysis, but I will also be sharing good trading tips. Subscribe, like, share, and also make sure you comment. See you guys on my subsequent video. Bye and peace out.